3 years, the person in less than 3 years with less than $8,000 of cash and credit was able to build a system, a proven system, just like the ones you're going to have access to, your clients, yourselves. And actually, I have it on my phone. I think you have to let me in the other one there, Ken. And
sure, I'll wait for you to come on and let you in on the other side of it. You gotta send me the material, and I'll go ahead and place it in the.
Oh yeah. Actually, here, yeah. Let me send it to you right now. 1 second. My apologies. Long day, but great day, guys. Because
yeah, I can put it into a PowerPoint presentation specifically for you, and then you can just build off of that. It's particularly, yeah.
There you go. So if you want to just share the screen and go through it slide by slide, then I'll go over the receipts here.
The screen is yours. So okay, so you're sending me the docs. I'm gonna open it up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and then play it on the screen. And yeah, so let's see. All right, Mr. Laser, I got the PDF. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go ahead and download it. I did find a video that talked about NFTs. If you want me to play that, it's a nice one. I think it's like 5-10 minutes.
Well, we can do it next time. I mean, this one will be pretty.
All right. Okay. Did it? Okay. All right. Just give me 1 second, so I can go ahead and pull it up. Didn't realize I was saving something. It never got saved, but it will be now. All right. Let's see. There we go. All right, Rob, you just go ahead and direct me as I go ahead and share the screen.
Awesome.
All right, here we go.
So can everyone see my, again, my happily married colleague? This is Ross, and for those of you who are in the crypto space, they call them laser eyes for a reason. People who are going to stick through things through thick and thin. People have strong faith. Ross here, again, this is him, happily married 6 years ago. And again, for many of you looking obviously on, you'll see that, in the bags of his eyes, he's working hard. Typical family man, 2 kids, working his butt off. This is the beginning of his journey of faith, but also using a proven profitable system that can generate not just one, but multiple streams of income. Next slide, Ken.
Sure.
These are one of the mobile money-making machines. That truck in the foreground, that blue truck, is carrying freight and carrying loads that are generating, again, in a weekly basis, a net of $21,000 per week. And again, I say that to you all because this is one stream of passive income. He has his driver there who works in his business, owner-operators. And again, this is something that is in high demand, especially because of the infrastructure bill that just passed this past weekend, in which the demand is going to be insane for the next 5 years. But again, borrowed money, had less than 8,000, deployed that, started again from one truck. And that truck today is making 21 grand a week. In the background on the right side, you'll see Walmart. Again, huge business, Walmart, Amazon, e-commerce, and delivering logistics and freight. So that's just one of many. We're going to show you a couple of these money-making mobile machines. Next slide there, Ken.
Sure.
This is another Peterbilt truck. You'll see that's just near his house. Again, another one, 21,000 a week in profits. And for those of you listening in or listening to the recording, I can tell you that you have this gentleman making now, because of the high demand with the Port of Los Angeles being backlogged, generating nearly $77,000 per day in gross revenue. And I say it because they start from less than $8,000, had to borrow money again via credit, And this is something that you should keep in mind, because when you're in a system that enables you to get up to 400,000 of unsecured funding, build up business funding system, you can invest in, and this creates passive income of these mobile money making machines. And we're going to just show you the next 2 slides, which will just demonstrate other trucks in his arsenal. And again, these are assets. These are the real passive income vehicles. Another beautiful truck. Again, 21,000 a week delivering product. Again, you know, these are vehicles that are going to be creating cash flow for many, many years to come. And inside his commercial warehouse facility, again, he bought commercial real estate, another vehicle. And in addition to that, passive income by renting out that property. Again, he has other tenants. So you can clearly see here, these guys, these are massive money-making machines. Now, you take those profits, you take your strong faith and system, and you know that you can, again, generate more money and create life-changing gains. As you all know, the NFT market, which is the ability to buy and sell digital assets, digital art, in which you can get these things, which are non-fungible tokens. He took advantage of this huge trend, systems, and he invested heavily in Sheeb, using the profits from his businesses, the same businesses you just saw, for those 15 trucks. Put $600,000 in the Sheeb. That got him 29,880,121,000 sheep. That was October 12th, literally just about 3 weeks ago. Fast forward to October 27th, the next slide here, Ross was able to successfully exit out. And if you zoom in there, Ken, you'll clearly see this order was filled, closed, and exited to the tune of about $1.61 million of profits, 1.4 million net during this great market, which, by the way, still has a long room to grow, because we have systems, we have proven processes, we have things that, again, you can understand, you don't have to do this yourself. This is done for you. These are one of the many systems we have in this whole funding, business funding system. But Ross was able to take advantage of it, and that's just in 2 weeks, guys, from October 12th to October 27th, liquid profits. What most people probably might do in 30, 40 years, he did that in 2 weeks. And that's not all. We go down further, you're going to see, because the proven processes, the systems, again, when people say, well, you know, I could do this myself and I could just go on YouTube, I say, sure, you absolutely could. But guys, you'll see that with our systems and processes, it's done for you. I think you have to go down a little lower there again. You'll see on October 29th, we knew that there's a lot of things happening in the market, and these are done for you. From one of the family office groups, I think you have to go down just a little more. There you are. We knew, based on proprietary systems and research and data, that there was a lot of market activity happening. So literally, as you might be putting your kids to bed or sleeping, again, 12:37 a.m. Eastern, we were told and shown that there's going to be a lot of selling and dumping on sheep. So they should take profits, take investments off the table. And if you go and look at it, what would happen the following day if you had said, hey, I'm just going to listen to some of these gurus or guys selling courses online, because we're not selling courses, we're getting you the funding. The next day, this is the result if you had just said, I'm going to do it myself. You have to go down one more slide after this. This was sheep within 6 to 8 hours of that. It was down over 14%. And later on the day, at one point, it was down 30%. And so when people say you can't time the market, I humbly disagree. We have some of the best proprietary AI. We talked about AI earlier, about trucking. AI, robots, technology that can actually pinpoint this stuff. With, that does 1,000 trades a second, a minute. And if you go down further and see the chart, guys, some of your advisors, again, good people, I respect them. But when they say, how do you predict it and how good was it? Well, again, we all saw that it was 12:37 a.m. We said that, there's going to be a lot of activity negatively in the market in sheep. I think this chart should come up, Ken. So remember when we were talking about the big dump? You see the charts in green? That was when we were told a lot of selling activity happening. And what happened as people were sleeping? Market tanked and kept going down and down and down throughout the day, saving you 30%. Again, using a proven process and funding systems done for you, where you don't have to sit around all day, 18, 20 hours, have 4 computer screens. No guesswork. And also, I want to show you some receipts of people who, we've worked with in the past. These are great people who have, made a bit of money, created decent returns, but again, they're following something that's a little obsolete. We have things that are, I'm grateful for Ken, the team, the partners, the family offices are 10, 20 years ahead of any of the so-called competition. We have receipts of what people who are selling courses for $5, $10, $50,000 are 2 weeks behind. And just want to show one of those testimonials. You'll see very clearly. Hopefully it's, and then this is, again, Mr. Laser Eyes today. That was a couple weeks ago in his fabulous Audi. Again, after making a couple $1 million in a month profit from not just the trucking, not just the 2 businesses he has in addition to the trucking, the cryptocurrency, the NFTs. I'd smile and look about 10 years younger too. Again, this is an actual picture from today, right? Whereas the other one was from 6 years ago. Looks younger, happier, and he is much richer. And we have the bank accounts and receipts as you saw. But if you go down to other testimonials and receipts of people who are, using this, you'll see, hey, people have said they've went from having to borrow money. Sound familiar, guys? We talk about borrowing money, using debt, using the system. People going from that to generating $4 million in a day. Whether you're Paris Hilton, whether you're 18 years old or 81 years old, a proven system in which people are generating more in a day than people make in lifetimes. And that's why I show that article, because that's the power of NFTs. Non-fungible tokens are here to stay. It is going to be able to help create liquidity, and it's going to help transform a lot of digital finance. So again, that article, highly recommend you take a look at. There's many more, but it is miracle money. When people say get rich quick, it's not get rich quick, it's get rich permanent, guys. It did that for Ross. It's doing that for people on this call. It's doing people listening on this call who can't be here. And if you go down a little further, Ken, you'll see somebody who knows that we can spot trends, guys, for decades. These are executives. These are people who have built funds. These are people who have bought and been in the real estate game, built businesses, been in technology. They'll say, hey, thanks for endorsing me for entrepreneurship. Hope you're doing well. I'd be surprised if you didn't make a killing in crypto. You were always good at spotting trends. One of the things I tell everyone here is the trend is your friend. Ken, I tip my hat to him and the team and the partners, the family offices and the groups with 150 years plus business, private equity, asset management experience. They are the best of the best at spotting trends. When you spot trends and the trend is your friend, it enables you to make massive windfalls and the greatest gains. And this is an executive, again, somebody who's bought and sold companies, had a fund. If you look at who they are and see their credibility, these are people who are best-selling authors and speakers and people who have raised and managed millions and millions of dollars. And you'll see, the type of stuff they offered. Next slide there, Ken. Some of you might say, hey, I see certain real estate people and gurus out there, talk about, making returns of 16, 18, 25% a year. Well, imagine that's a model and system that, built out for them. And guys, with this funding system, this proven business funding system, what they used to be able to do in a year, and even double that, we have systems that can do it weekly or monthly on cryptocurrency, the family office, the groups. That's how powerful it is. And you get, guess what? We're getting you the money. You're getting personal and business. And final points, if you take a look at it, again, this is us working together with our team. We had a great call today. Michael's on and some of the other guys here. We had a phenomenal call today, Michael, in regards to, the grant program, employee grant program, what have you. Again, we're working together. We're killing it right now. It is the greatest time to be alive, guys. And Michael, can you attest how good the call was today? We did at 4:30.
I can, except I'm still processing it. I've never seen an opportunity like it before in my life. And I mean, basically, I was thinking of Geico Insurance, that commercial. So easy a caveman could do it, because literally all you've got to be able to do is get a decision maker to make a 10 or 15-minute conversation with our guys, and they've got an 80% close ratio. We could teach you all you need to know about grants to get this done in like 10 minutes. Maybe that's an exaggeration, but the goal is not to become educated, because a lot of people want to become educated, but that's what school teachers do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we want to close business, and so why reinvent the wheel when these guys, like I said, they're closing 80%, and the amount of income you can make, it's unbelievable. I mean, it just blows. I'm still processing it all right now. So we have tons of interest. We have accountants, we have CPAs, people that are wanting to run this business for us. And what's so cool about this is you make a sale, you can, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because I'm just not learning about this, but one sale will pay you monthly for 10 years. That's correct, guys?
Yeah, and again, just to preface, this is the systems I'm grateful for, Ken, the proven process that you can go through. That with receipts, and Michael, you saw the receipts of people who got funded to the tune of about what, 10 million, 10.2 million.
Oh yeah.
People who, guys, imagine having a business that you did 30 million of top line revenue at a very slim 3% margin. And with Ken's proven processes and systems, get you with the grant program, literally $10 million of non-recourse, non-taxable grant funding, in which we just showed you what you can do with somebody who had less than $8,000 cash. Imagine what you can do when you go to these business owners and show them how we can open the government's arms, get them cash to generate multiple passive, profitable, predictable streams of income. You guys wouldn't sleep. I mean, you'd have more energy than Ken and I combined, and I have insane amounts of energy right now. And if Yash is on here, Yash can attest how powerful it is, and the amount of money we can open up to. And if you guys came through George, you'll see these are things in which, if you're looking at your time nowadays, you're going to say, how can I help give more value to these businesses? How can I give more value to the churches, personal funding clients, business clients? Because the more value, the more money you get in their pocket, you're going to see it's going to come back to you 1,000-fold, guys. Because when I saw how much funding, and by the way, these are people who were told, well, I don't think we qualify. My CPA did, my CFO, my controller, my CEO said you can't do it. And even once they just get on a 15-minute call to get up to $15,000 employee, they got millions of dollars. Now imagine taking that and using it through the system we have. All I can say is there are guys out there hungry as hell getting $350 million in the pipeline in weeks. In weeks. Not things that would have taken you 10 years to do. They're doing it in weeks.
And Rob, I'll add, there's a famous security provider company, as I will say, that went through the similar process, and they were able to get up to 10 million, while somebody else told them they would get them 4 million. So our guys are certainly able to provide the highest amount of tax credits that you can get from this.
Incredible. Yes, indeed.
So,
Go ahead, Rob.
Guys, just to finish off, and for those listening to this recording, you have receipts of people who have gone through hell and back, more challenges, more difficult situations, but there's been solutions, and they were guided by faith, a proven process and systems, and also the trends. The trend is your friend, guys. We have 3 great trends emerging right now, good or bad, but mostly good today. You have the trend of they're printing lots of money, guys. Take advantage of it. We're going to be able to take advantage of the fact that 80% of all the money in the last 100 years was printed the last 2 years. Take advantage of that. You can tap in and use credit, which is the greatest amount of OPM and leverage you're ever going to get, whether you're an investor trying to self-fund a product. If you're in America and you have good credit, credit is the key thing. And final point is technology, cryptocurrency. It is a very lucrative 7-day-a-week model where you will not sleep. Money never sleeps, and this is a market that's never sleeping, and it's a lie. So take advantage of those trends. Take advantage of the fact you have the value add, the education, this platform, and it's plug and play, guys. Because this will be the biggest game changer in the next 3, 6, and 12 months you're ever going to see. And just to finish off, Ross there, if you ever get a chance to listen to the great presentation we did a couple Fridays ago, they'll tell you his number conservatively is at 50 million of liquid cash spendable profit in the next 3, 6, and 12 months. He's doing this with or without you guys. So if you're listening in on this recording and you're saying to yourself, you know, what's in it for me? Ask yourself a question. In the year's 2030, do you want your kids looking back and asking, or grandkids asking, why in the year 2020, 2021, you didn't take advantage of the fact we can get you the funding, we can get you the credit, we have the systems, we have the proven processes. You can get money for businesses that rightfully, legally deserve these funds, and you have the outlets and the leadership around you here that can help work with you to create a win-win, add value. What was the excuse you made? I leave that with you. And Ken, take it over.
Sure, Rob. Thank you so much. For those of you who are sort of kind of really new to the system, I'm going to go ahead and play a video. Rob, you haven't seen this one, but I think it's kind of really apropos as an intro to people who don't understand cryptocurrency and NFT. But you guys take a look and give me your opinion. But to add to what Rob is talking about, these are like, I don't know, it's a rare moment. The reason we're all super excited is because we've never had this kind of opportunity before, where so many things are being given to us. And I just thank God for it, because I believe God is responsible in terms of getting these things in our hands, where literally you can pick up the phone and make a referral and make $150,000, $200,000, and we have the receipts to prove it. That's the thing. So we call that the super job, and we're actually hiring a lot of people to come in and take advantage of what what the government is offering in regards to giving away money. But we have more than one giveaway money system in regards to that. It's a way for people to get in and begin to do something a little different. And look, let's be clear, it's not going to be for everybody. This is not a system that's going to go ahead and take care of a few 100 million people. This is a system that when you get in right now as a free member and you participate in the progress in terms of the things that we're doing, you have that access. We don't know how long all of these things will last in regards to the various programs, but what we do know is that we're part of a trend that we're going to see cryptocurrency go from 2 trillion to hundreds of trillions of dollars, and that real estate and all the other systems that we talk about, these are things that are going to be available. But some of these special things, which is where you get to make $10 million in 90 days, free and clear capital, those are the things that we can't guarantee that's always going to be around. But right now, this is the time and the place to really get those things happening. And if you didn't clearly understand some of the trends that Rob was talking about, I'm going to play you a video, basically to help you get some clarity on it. It's not long, but it will certainly give you an understanding of how this all fits into the current technological trends. Rob, Yash, take a look, because if you want, I will go ahead and make that part of the presentation, so that you can give them a little bit of an intro and understanding of what that's all about. So take a look and listen and understand.
Interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
In 1991, the first ever website went live, and it looked like this. Not much going on here, just a page with some text on it. A couple of years later, a video went live on another website.
Alright, so here we are, one of the elephants.
Fast forward a couple of years, you have YouTubers with a wider reach than entire news outlet giants. Throughout history, technology made jumps that created entire new industries and economies. Another jump is happening as you watch this video. It's called the Metaverse, and it'll change how everything works. Welcome to ALUX.
Will Meta make everything better?
Ever since Mark Zuckerberg made the announcement, every news outlet started to paint out this dystopian future where all of us are doomed to be mindless robots in a cog. Ready Player One meets The Matrix, where the Zuck controls everything. It's the easy narrative to go with and the one that gets the most clicks. This video isn't about big companies trying to build the Matrix. It's about you, understanding what's happening and how you can profit from it. And the best way to understand this is to look at something of a smaller scale. The multiverse. Have you watched the new Ariana Grande concert? No, not that one. This one. They really did a full production concert inside the game. Imagine telling someone a couple of years ago that in 2021, Ariana Grande will tour in Fortnite. It did, however, manage to create a unique experience with a completely new level of interaction. Something similar happened with Travis Scott last year. What this type of experience does really well is connecting something from the real world with something from the virtual world. Something very interesting is happening right now across all industries at the same time. BMW announced their new car. In Rocket League, you have streaming companies like Netflix making video games. You have video game companies like Riot making Netflix shows. The result is a disruption of how we interact with both worlds and what's really possible. So, what exactly is the Metaverse? Saying what the Metaverse is now is like saying what the internet was in the 90s.
You can now glimpse the future with nothing more than a modem, a phone line, and a few dollars a month.
There was no concept of social media, content creators, sharing platforms, trading platforms, platforms that make other platforms, and the list goes on. So technically, the Metaverse is whatever we build on it. It sits at the crossroads of Web 3.0, blockchain, and virtual reality. It's the combination of these three elements that make it possible. We need to take a look at the three parts individually, starting with Web 3.0, which is the next version of the internet. Yes, there are more versions of the internet. Web 1.0 looked like that website we showed you at the beginning. It's just a page with a bunch of text and some hyperlinks to more pages with more text. There is no interaction, no user-generated content, pretty much nothing but text on a screen. Web 2.0 is what we currently have now. It's largely community-based. Most of it is user-generated content, is highly interactive, and you can do a bunch of stuff on it. One really important thing to mention here: there's only one thing you can buy and own on the internet. A single thing. It's a domain name. Just like we own alux.com, nobody in the world can make another website with the same domain name. Everything else is owned by corporations. Take this video, for example. Sure, we made it, but if YouTube wants to, they could just poof, and it's gone. Which leads us to Web 3.0. The most important thing you can do on Web 3.0 is own parts of the internet. Everything that you make, buy, or sell on the internet is yours, and you have the full rights. This happens because of blockchain, and more specifically because of NFTs. They're the foundation blocks of value in the metaverse. You probably have an idea of what they are, but most disregard them as useless pixels on a screen for which some idiots are paying millions of dollars. But Alux, what's stopping me from doing a right-click save of an NFT to my desktop? How is that valuable? Great question. For you to better understand how NFTs work, let's talk about money, or the story of money, or how money came to be. What makes you think this piece of paper is worth $100? Who told you that? Why would someone trade goods for your piece of paper? Well, it's because over the years we agreed that $1 is worth $1, and we trust that it always does. It's a social construct, it's not even real, but it makes it easy to exchange stuff, so we all agree to use it. So, the value of an NFT is how much those who embrace it decide that it's worth. And it provides ownership because it can be tracked in the blockchain. It cannot be copied. What you're failing to see is what NFTs can become in the future, the same way websites transform over time. Compare the first page with, let's say, Google Maps. They're both website pages accessed from a specific link, yet the difference between them is astronomical. There's this great tweet that says something like, people say NFTs are a scam, but they post their original creations on Instagram in exchange for a digital heart. So you have this way of truly owning something and using it in the context of Web 3.0. Now, what would be a great way to interact with this virtual reality? Well, yeah, virtual reality. This seems to be the only thing people talk about, even though it's just part of the metaverse. Until holograms become a thing, this is the coolest thing we have right now. It's the natural technological progression. So when someone says Facebook is building the metaverse, it's fundamentally wrong because they don't own the internet or the blockchain or virtual reality. It's like saying Apple built telecommunications when they launched the iPhone. And it doesn't really matter what they, or Google, or any other company are doing. Once blockchain becomes mainstream, the internet is owned by individuals. And this is what most people can't wrap their heads around. So here's an example. Imagine you're an artist. You make one song and sell it for $1 as an NFT. In your smart contract, you add that every time your song gets sold, you make 80% with 20% going to the seller. Let's say we buy your song for $1 and we sell it to someone else for $1. In this case, you, the artist, make $1 from the initial sale and 80 cents from the second sale, while we also make 20 cents. And this can go on and on. Every time your song is sold, you get 80% of it automatically in your digital wallet. No Spotify involved, no Apple Music involved, no label involved. Not only do you make a whole lot more money, your community also makes money from your work. And this is how individual ownership is happening. Everything in the metaverse works with this formula. That's what the metaverse really is, the rise of individual ownership. So, how can you profit from it? You need to become a native to this new land. In order for you to see new opportunities, you need to understand how they're created, and you do that by getting educated. If you have no idea how this new thing works and you quickly dismiss it as a dystopian nightmare, you'll be left behind when reality, both natural and virtual, hits you. The good news is, we're in the super early days. People are just starting to get educated in this space. There's a lot of room for growth and a whole new pie to eat from. We hope you find this video valuable, and as a thank you for watching until the end, we have a bonus for you. Here are some pretty cool things happening in this space right now. You can buy digital land in video games. For the uneducated, this means wasting money on pixels. For the educated, it's the first step in owning parts of video games. Imagine being a digital real estate investor in the next 10 years. Nike just patented digital goods, and they'll sell virtual Air Jordans at some point in the future. Imagine being a digital reseller. Now, if you want to learn some more about this space, there's a really good podcast with Tim Ferriss, Naval Ravikant, and Chris Dixon. We highly suggest you give it a listen. You can find it for free on pretty much every audio streaming platform. See you on the inside, Alexer.
And that's a brief
Wow.
intro.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a brief intro in terms of what Rob is talking about. I hope that did justice, Rob, in terms of giving people sort of a basic background. And since we're recording, it'd be a great way for them to kind of wrap up in regards to that. But if not, obviously, but it was quite eye-opening for me in terms of understanding. And basically, to summarize everything, because it's a lot of information. That's why we're here 7 days a week, Monday through Monday, because you're not going to catch everything all in one shot. But I will make it as simple as possible in terms of where things are and what it is that we're doing. Basically, you take the step to build your best future, and the way you do that is you simply just join the program. It's free. So all the benefits that we talked about, like guys making $150,000 just simply giving away government money and so on, that becomes available to you as part of the system in regards to that. Fill out the paperwork, and then you should start making money as quickly as possible within the first 2 weeks by just any one of these smaller systems that we actually have. If you want to become a consultant, basically be a person who spreads the good information out there that, there's a different way, there's a better way to actually participate. You don't have to trade time for money. There are other things that you can do that would be more helpful. My particular focus is churches. Why? Because we can get them grants as much as $100 million a year. And where do we get? And even though it costs something, we know how to raise the money for them in order to make that happen. But that's generally the system in a nutshell. So just to recap, we know what the problem is, which is basically trading time for money, and it doesn't work. That's the system that's failed us. And we know what the solution is. Basically, instead of trading time for money, have a system that's basically going to produce that for us. And the way we bridge that gap with our system is we simply know how to get the money and plug you into the right situations that will allow you to actually access, not only passive income on a monthly basis, but lump sums of money that will allow you to permanently retire. And we got multiple ways of doing that. And so we welcome you to I would say, the inner circle of success, by virtue of you being on this call and understanding things that, people will probably pay us $100,000 if they had a chance to actually get in and do some of the various things, because that's the value of it. Just the fact alone that you can learn how to go ahead and hand money out from the government to businesses is well worthwhile, because as I said, people are making millions of dollars on that deal on a per annum basis. So anyway, that's pretty much in terms of the current presentation here. And you guys are welcome to ask any questions that you may want to ask as we go through the system.